Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is Chair League night, and we are in what week 4? Am I right? Oh yeah, you're eating a banana.
I am eating a banana.
Well, with me,
This is three. Three.
3. Okay. Well, with me is my co-caster, New Type, eating a banana.
Hey, yo.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, and we have for you guys tonight the Jackson 5 versus Die for Vision on Braxis Holdout.
The actual Jackson 5. We have resurrected people. We only bring we pull out all the stops here for Chair League.
Yeah. Oh boy. What a
What an interesting week.
Yeah, I know, right? We had an interesting tournament this past weekend. Was the Arcane 8? Did you watch any of that?
I got a chance to, yeah. The Bloodlust community-sponsored tournament, along with sponsors Arcane 8, or it's put on by Arcane 8, pardon me. And it was really, really fun to watch. Nice laid-back tournament, kind of informal cast to it. You got to see one of the most delightful spectacles I've seen in Heroes, where they brought Zoya back from the old Tempo Storm manager, and and him and Dunk Train ate if I'm not mistaken, an unidentified but verifiably hot pepper and casted a game under the effect.
I believe, and don't quote me on this, I believe it was a Carolina Reaper.
I'm writing it down. I will quote you.
Oh.
I believe it was Carolina Reaper said so. But it's a really fun tournament.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun to watch. And did you? I mean, the thing I wanted to bring up on that tournament was the Cho'Gall pick, the Cho'Gall Ariel TLV.
There was one janky game in there. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who specifically that was that played that one.
It was DTS, Dumpster Tier Superstars versus Nice, and I believe we had some old casted people on there. I think I remember seeing FC Ignition on one of those teams.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'd have to go back through the archive. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. Some of those names were familiar. If you haven't had a chance, also the OGN Super League is going on right now. You can find the VODs on Twitch here. Top tier Korean teams playing each other for a spot at BlizzCon. Last night, I just watched a game actually earlier today a match between Tempo Storm and MVP Miracle. That set was excellent. I would really recommend it to anybody who wants to see the current state of the Korean meta. And there's some interesting decisions. One hero in particular got a lot of play that you typically don't see here in NA. I won't spoil it, but you'll probably figure out who it is. And one hero that typically gets a lot of play, did in Korea and did here in NA, typically got a lot of play, did not see a lot of success. So it's interesting to see how the times they are changing. And if you want to be on the knife edge of Heroes of the Storm, that's the place to look.
Yeah. Well, one other thing I wanted to mention was the lack of Sonya this past weekend.
Gone. She is gone, man.
What is going on here?
It's pretty wild. I feel like her position has really gotten just eaten up by Kerrigan. Kerrigan has her own style of self-sustain. She's got a heavier front-loaded burst than Sonya, which is so valuable in the competitive scene. And I feel like, with her recent buffs to damage output, and by recent I mean the last couple of weeks, couple of months, I think that she's become the superior pick for effective high-level players.
Yeah, unless they, I don't know. It seems to be flavor of the month in terms of NA, since there's a very low number of people relative to. Well, you know what? I can't say that because Korea is also a very low number of people as well, and their meta seems to shift, on the week. So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Korea prioritizes Sonya very much. So, right?
Not so much anymore.
Really? Okay.
No, not so much anymore. I'd say that to some extent, Tyrael has replaced her in the sort of the secondary tank role,
Hmm.
and I would say Kerrigan has replaced her for the compositions that really want dive, and even compositions that want wave clear. Kerrigan's okay at it. She gets insane value on Infernal Shrines.
Wow, that's her rise to fame right there, Inferno Shrines.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Um, so let's talk about the map tonight a little bit. Brax's Holdout.
Yes. So our away team, Die for Vision, got to make the map pick, and that's one heck of a coin toss there,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, I mean, we're just getting used to this map a little bit, and next Tuesday is going to be what is it? War something Holdout.
Let's see here. What's that damn map name?
It's going to be another map.
It's going to be another map. We
next
barely figured
Tuesday.
out how this first one works.
What is going
Warhead
on?
Junction.
Warhead Junction. That's what it was. Yeah. I cannot remember the name of that one to save my life. Anyway, oh my gosh, we're gonna be lost.
Yep. The whole week is just gonna be one Warhead Junction after another.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, do they pick Brax's Holdout? Did they pick Warhead Junction?
I know. What new confusing map do we pick?
Mm-hmm. All right.
I feel like Warhead Junction is going to be a little less confusing since the objective is pretty straightforward. You have you have the nuke and you can decide when to use it. I think the top tier teams are going to have a lot of fun with that because you have to decide when to use your nuke, when to when not to use it, how to protect it, who caps it, who doesn't. It's gonna be an interesting one. Braxis, I feel like you can kind of sledgehammer this one at this point. You can kind of just sort of bully your way through it, and the meta hasn't really been found out for it just yet.
Yep. But it is on the hour, and we are on time here. So
holy crap!
I know, right? It's weird.
Unreal.
It's really weird. So I am going to transition us over to the drafting page here, and let's see how this turns out. Any predictions?
On Brax's Holdout, it's a small map, but heroes that can quickly rotate are still valuable. So a hero like Falstad may still get play. I think Zagara is going to see some action in some way, shape, or form, be it a ban or a play. I think she's great for as a top laner. The soft meta that has sort of arisen out of this in the last few weeks has been a single top laner and 4 at bottom. Zagar is good, Thrall is good in those solo lane situations, and as far as the other 4 members of the team, I think you have to be cognizant of the wave clear. Having reliable, solid wave clear is critical on this map. I think Ariel is an excellent support on this map due to her infinite sustain. I think Brightwing is also an excellent support, who we may see here tonight. And I think a hero like Vala is going to be in contention here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, do you think Medivh is going to be banned?
Oh boy. Well, this is a D3 matchup. This is a Division 3 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the sort of the intro division. I think Medivh is on the table. The question is whether you think you've got somebody who can actually play the Medivh that effectively. So the first we see a Zagara ban by Jackson 5. We mentioned, very strong as a top laner on this map, very active and just dangerous on her own up there. So let's see how Die for Vision responds.
Yeah, I think if they don't ban out Medivh, just because so the thing about Medivh, let's just talk about that real quick.
Yes.
His teleport or his what is that? Portal. Sorry.
Yeah,
his portal.
The dark portal ability can be talented so that its cast range is longer, and I believe this is at level 7. And when that is active, you can basically drop a portal between each of the two beacon locations and have easy access for your team to port back and forth.
Yeah.
Gazlo picked up first by Jackson 5.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Gazlo is phenomenal on this map.
I mean, set up your defense. This is one of those Okay, so they said the design of this map is such that the objectives are actually in the jungle, and there's a lot of smoke around it. There's you really have to defend your point. Who better to than the one who sets up the turrets? Gazlo. He's
the king of point defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, arguably, him and Sergeant Hammer are very big competitors for it. So
she's the queen of point defense.
Yeah, but first pick Gazlo though, I feel like that's counterable.
Yeah, and we see Kael'thas and Brightwing picked up by Die for Vision. As I mentioned, Brightwing a really good pick on this map, able to transfer from beacon to beacon very quickly. And we see Jaina and Kael'thas picked up as spell damage on both sides, helping to provide that wave clear. We see Johanna picked up as well by Jackson 5, further wave clear and a solid tanking presence for Jackson 5. We'll have to see Jackson 5 without a support yet. We'll look for Die for Vision potentially to ban out that support. I'd like to see Ariel banned here.
Really? I'd like to see Ariel played here.
I think an Ariel ban would be a smart ban here.
Oh, well,
unless they want to go double support, which I think is doable, but kind of tough to pull off.
We saw double support played to a very good effect, especially on such a sustained map where you literally, the longer you stay at the point, the better. I mean, the more likely you are to win.
They'd need some beefy people to frontline for those two healers if they decide to go that route. Rhaegar is banned by Die for Vision, another good healer to ban. I think if you're not banning Oriel, you're banning Rhaegar here.
I mean, unless they want to play Ariel, the thing is, they already have Brightwing on Die for Vision, so.
And Diablo is banned by Jackson 5. I mean, Diablo can be pretty sticky in the early game. He's got a decent HP pool. I think they're worried about that Diablo really getting in and providing Kael'thas with a reliable engagement.
The thing is, APOC is also Vision, where you drop APOC, you know that where they were. And well,
hold the phone.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So Rexar picked up by Die for Vision, probably one of the best possible heroes for this map, second only to potentially Medivh. Rexar able to basically be in two places at once, with Misha the Bear providing crowd control and Rexar providing damage. Either of them able to activate the beacon while the other is soaking the lane. Really good pickup for Die for Vision. We'll have to keep an eye on this Rexar player.
This really encapsulates the name of their team right there. Misha literally is the thing that dies for Vision all of the time. So, sorry, Misha, you're the Die for Vision.
And Muradin as well picked up by Die for Vision. So I think we can expect Rexar in the top lane, handling things by himself, and we'll see the other four in the bottom lane here. I think maybe Gazlo can top lane against Rexar, but do you think Jackson 5 is going to pick someone a little more traditional, a little more standard to do that, to fill that role?
Well,
I mean, Thrall is still on the table.
They need a healer first. I think what healer they pick will affect what the last pick is as well. They need a strong healer, though. I mean, I think Karazhan might be an option on this case, because one of the things that Karazhan excels at is never mind.
Lieutenant Morales, and a disciplined Lieutenant Morales can be a nightmare to deal with. If she respects her mana pool, those heroes are never going to be pushed off of a point.
Well, she's also easy to dive on, because you can see. I mean, this map does. You
They
can
don't
go
have
into
very
the
much
jungle.
hard. They don't have much hard dive. They have Muradin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give them that. They have Muradin, but the follow up is right now just Kael'thas.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a good point. Yeah.
I think Morales is not a bad choice here. You also potentially could have the medevac for quick transfer between the two beacon locations.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit of aggressive play, but it is
Well,
sort
they
of
don't
on the
have anyone
table.
to stem right now, so
They do not. They don't have an auto attacker unless they're planning for really late game Gazlo,
or what?
Robo Goblin value, and we see a Nubarak rounding out the composition. So
Oh, dual tank.
double dual warrior compositions
Oh man.
on both sides here. This is going to be the sort of this is going to be a chess match. This is going to be see who can position themselves effectively here and get to that tender backline. Because you have
Yeah.
Jaina and Gazlo doing basically all the damage for Jackson 5, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that damage is going to be Jaina front loaded in her burst. So it's going to be Jaina with a target on her back.
Are we gonna see Tychus here?
Oh,
I feel like
I think that'd be a smart decision.
I mean, we have Johanna and Nubrak, some of the biggest health pools in the game.
And there it is. Good call. Ooh.
Yeah.
Remind me never to bet against you.
Well, I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, you have Johanna, you have Nubrak. He also has the grenade that pushes people off the point.
And Kael'thas does have some percentage based damage. He can talent into altering the flame strike so that if it catches multiple heroes, it does inflict percentage based damage. I mean, that's a melee heavy team with Anubrak and Johanna and potentially Gazlo in the mix. So I think Die for Vision has a really solid composition. Jackson 5. I want to see how the Anubrak interacts with Jaina. It's going to be Anubrak setting up the Jaina damage with Johanna as well, slowing and pulling. But I feel like if if you grab Muradin and get a Jaina combo off on him, he's not going to be dead. Same thing with same thing probably with Misha. And Kael'thas and Tychus are going to be slippery. They're going to be hard to get a hold of.
I really like this draft because not only do they have both have poke, they both have point control. I mean, it's
who's top laning against Rexar? You think it's gonna be Gazlo?
I don't know if it's going to be 4-1. I think it might be a 5-man gank. No, I mean it might be Rexar. Hold on.
Yeah, who's paired off against Rexar? Because you have to respect that at top.
I guess it'd be Gazlo.
It's gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a tough duel in the top lane versus one of the most frustrating warriors to play against.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna zone into this game here. Excuse me. Wow. I don't think I expected this draft. What do you?
The Dual Warrior was a surprise. The Dual Warrior was a big surprise.
On both teams.
Rexar is a nice addition to Die for Vision. I feel like I'm going to give them an edge with Tychus and Rexar. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the control from the Rexar player. We'll get into character introductions once we zone into the game here. Just off the from the gut, initial thoughts. I feel like Die for Vision has an edge in this draft.
See, I'm gonna actually pick the other side here because I think Gazlo has a very good utility on this map. So we'll see. This makes it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we're just gonna get our butts in gear here and get ready for once again week 3, first game that we're casting this week. It's going to be Jackson 5 versus Die for Vision. And don't forget to follow us on the Chair League site if you like our cast.
We'll post that the link to the actual match in just a moment here. Be sure to watch be sure if you haven't tried it yet to watch the cast on the Chair League site. It gives you an opportunity to congratulate or sort of vote for what player you think is making the impact right now. So it's a neat little feature that just got implemented this season, and we're eager to see it tried out. So make sure you click those heart beacons when you get a chance if you think a hero's picking up the slack and laying down the law.
Yeah, looks like we may have had a DC early on here, but it's okay.
We'll
We'll
see.
wait a moment here, but okay. What was I going to say about this? Oh, yeah, it has the commendation system on the Chair League site is really exciting because you can interact with the rest of the audience in terms of like the excitement for the heroes themselves, and it really works well on teams such as these where they have every single person checked in on the site. That's one of the requirements where you have to check in on the site now, and yeah, you can really show your love for the people making the plays.
Yeah, no, this is good. And so here we go. Let's get right into it here. In the blue corner on the left-hand side here, playing for the Jackson 5, we've got Terraspaz on Lieutenant Morales. We've got Silver Hawk on Anubarak. We've got Avrail on Jaina, Mick Kitten on Johanna, and Gumby on the Gazlo. On the right-hand side here, in the red corner, playing for Team Die for Vision, we've got the Handsome Man on Rexar. We got Zuz on the Murden. We got Joey Joe Jr. on the Brightwing. We got Renz on the Kael'thas, and we've got Kerrigan on the Tychus.
Kerrigan. All right, so interesting split. Yeah, to start here, we got a 4-1 versus a 3-2. Do you think this is going to stay this way?
I don't think so. I think the pressure that you can exert at bottom is going to be just absolutely critical. You basically have a hero and a half in the top lane with Misha and Rexar. And as long as they play, if they play conservatively, if they play calmly at top here, don't have to go in too hard. At bottom, they can push to their heart's content and really, really go to town on it.
Mm-hmm. And we see Gazlo already setting up his turrets, just getting ready for, and then doing some serious push on the towers already. But,
I feel like the onus here is on the members of Die for Vision at the bottom. I feel like they have got to push that pressure, and they got to push it hard to force Johanna down south.
Yeah, but they seem to be doing a good job of defending at this point. All that pressure on the heroes themselves, eating up what damage would have been for the towers. So, any interesting picks from the talent so far?
Just getting around to take a look at that. Let's see here. We did not see Dampen Magic at level 1 for Anubarak. We saw Assault Scarab. So increasing the damage of the spawned beetles by 30%. That's a surprise with the Kael'thas on the opposing team.
I was going to say, yeah, that I wonder if they're going to go for a... I wonder if they actually are still going to go for Stim Drone for
And we
Morales.
see Pixie Charm picked up by the Brightwing, the new bribe talent for Brightwing, which I like on this map. Her bribe is based off of heroes healed. She's going to have 3 people around her at all times, potentially taking damage, potentially giving her those stacks. And the camps on this map are great.
Yeah, the camps respawn very, normally, but there's the rotations on the camps are pretty important. And you can actually see
Silverhawk taking a lot of heat at bottom there, burning out a lot of hit points. Terraspaz topping him off quickly. But, as I mentioned, the pressure from bottom here is going to become insurmountable as we push on into the game.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, you had a good point. This is a 4-1 map. You rotate as 4, and Brightwing, who rotates with the 4 always, it's perfect for a bribe build.
Mm-hmm.
So this may be showing off her the importance of setting that up, but they are actually Die for Vision's actually going to get the first activation of the beacons here, and
Kerrigan sneaks up after they push out. A lot of mana was depleted by Jackson 5. Terraspaz lost a lot of mana, bringing that Anubarak back up to full health. Gazlo very low on mana there, dueling with Rexar, and it looks like the upper hand is on the other foot at this point, as Handsome Man is now the one running low on mana in top. First kill, though, is picked off at bottom. Jaina is brought down. Mm-hmm. And like I said, that's just going to make it even worse for the bottom lane here, as Kerrigan pushes forward. Silverhawk with very little hit points, and Terraspaz bailing them out with that awesome new grenade that you can now trigger for detonation. I love that idea now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just gives that a little bit extra control over your main ability to push and control the map a little bit.
And
a three-man dive going up on top
with
here.
Gazlo at top here with just Johanna. Brightwing managed to phase shift in and turn the tide, and they are pushing people out. Avril does manage to come by in time and get some big damage in, but they are forced out, the Jackson 5 is.
But it looks like they're going to sneak a little bit more percentage up. But this makes sense. I mean, Gazlo is a very late game oriented hero.
Yeah, Zuz down at bottom, double 2-digit hit points, 60 hit points. Zuz manages to escape the pressure from Silverhawk, but Silverhawk does manage to cap the beacon. And with Gumby at top, we're going to see a couple of ticks going in favor of Jackson 5.
Yeah, the rotations are going to come faster and more dangerously now.
Woo! Kerrigan cut off by Silverhawk there. 200 hit points, barely surviving, and it is Silverhawk who is brought down instead.
Yeah, Misha taking a lot of damage and doing a really great job of being a tank.
And they caught up. Jackson 5, 70 to 72%. Jackson 5 pulling back into the danger zone here. And we are close to complete activation here. Mick Kitten taking a lot of heat, has got to watch themselves at top lane here. They are going to go down with the slightest provocation.
Yeah, she's going to go back now just to top off. That makes sense. You don't want to use your tap too early, especially if you're going to...
if things go south with the Zerg, you're gonna want that tap for when the enemy team is pushing in, and it looks like just a little bit in favor of Dive for Vision. They got a couple more ticks, but Zuz is brought down. Diving in goes Evrail and Silverhawk, picking off Zuz. And status quo antebellum. We are back at 1-for-1, about 70 to 76, and level 7 has been acquired by Jackson 5. They're about a level ahead of Dive for Vision, which, depending on the timing of this Zerg push, could be critical.
Yeah, can we talk about the big bad Beetleborg build from
I know,
from Anubarak?
Anubarak is going full aggro with this build. All the damage, all the beetles. Get your raid, get your roach motels. It is going to be a health code violation everywhere he goes.
Oh my gosh. And Rexar has to run. Oh my gosh, he is running away with 100 health left. And
with that, Jackson 5 actually completes the cap. The initial advantage given to Dive for Vision negated completely, as we have two very beefy Zerg waves pushing. The bot lane is for Jackson 5. You can expect them to rotate down there unless they decide to split push following cleaning up this Zerg wave at top.
Interesting choice. Looks like they're going to go five bot to defend here. That's going to make Gazlo's job extremely difficult, and they want to keep that fort, it looks like. They really don't want to lose it.
Those Guardians will not be deterred. They're out for blood, and with just 400 hit points left, that fort, you sneeze on it and it's gone. You don't need the big bad wolf to blow that one down.
So I would call that pretty even there, wouldn't you?
I would say it's actually to the benefit of Jackson 5. They had Gazlo soaking bottom during that whole push, and they had no one at top. The level advantage for Jackson 5 is still there, and they are going to beat Dive for Vision to level 10.
Yeah. So yeah, the Brightwing's actually showing off her ability to pull Merc camps instantly now, as she's gotten enough stacks of bribe to get one of those Merc camps, and the other team, Jackson 5 has to spend about 20 seconds to get that particular camp. So she's starting to ramp up a little bit. Both teams are actually starting to ramp up a little bit.
It should be noted, if you bring the talents up, Kael'thas took Convection at level 1, and Convection has completed. So big flame strike damage coming out from Kael'thas. Expect their damage to ramp up considerably as we get further on into the late game.
Yeah, it's actually getting really difficult to cast this game because there's so much action happening at both top and bottom just constantly. And I am super impressed by the variety in builds right now. It's just I'm very impressed by the choice of Pixie Charm on this map. I think that might be something very valuable for future Brightwing picks on this particular map.
Possibly, yeah. I want to see how it goes going forward, but definitely, I think the Merc camps on this map are fantastic. And we do see the first fort of the game claimed in the bottom lane. Jackson 5 bringing down Diprovision's fort. The well is gone too. Now, this is critical with the beacons activating now. You know, Jackson 5 is going to have substantially more sustain in the bottom lane here with their fountain still available.
So both teams are at 10 now. You know, it's going to be even talent tiers. And I was just waiting for the pick on Anubarak's ult.
He went with the Locust Swarm. We're going full Beetle, my friend.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen this build since Leoric.
And Robo Goblin. Wow, man, I love these. Medevac dropship as well. As I noted prior to during the draft, Medevac dropship can get you from one beacon to the other very swiftly and help counter that Brightwing global as well.
Yeah, it essentially gives you your own global, and to bring your entire 5-stack over to the other side. That can be extremely powerful, especially if you can take down one hero from the other team. You now have a 4-on-5, and you go wherever you want.
Big scrap happening at top here. McKitten, isolated by Emerald Wind, does use the Blessed Shield, though, to stun things out. Avatar popped. Tons of ults going down at top. Ring of Frost catching one, just the Muradin, and it looks like it's just going to be a scuffle with no further casualties. Terraspaz a little low on HP, but no big deal. Jackson 5 crushing this Zerg sequence here. 100-0.
Absolutely, that's very impressive. I honestly, I'll be honest with you, I really expected a stim, especially with Robo Goblin, because I was seeing Robo Goblin come out. You
think they were going for the late game hero damage Robo Goblin shenanigans?
A stim on Robo Goblin is dangerous.
I think the only problem right now is you might not make it to level 20.
That's true, yeah.
You might not make it to level 20. This game may end sooner. This game may end, either direction sooner than that. But we'll have to see how these teams handle these pushes. Gaslo going crazy in the bot lane with that Robo Goblin, by the way, while 4 members push at top with the Zerg Wave. Huge advantage, level 13 established by Jackson 5. And they are just pushing right now.
Yeah. Diprovision cleaning up pretty effectively, using that ability of Tychus to shoot up rather than the normal.
Well, he is a Terran Marine.
Yeah, he's sort of a Marine. He's not really.
Yeah, but he can shoot up. He's a Terran Marine. Yeah.
Well,
are you telling me that the opening sequence of StarCraft 2 lied to me? Oh.
Well, there's a lot of complaint about Sergeant Hammers being able to kill the Guardians as well, so...
Completely unacceptable. Lore broken, ruined forever.
Literally unplayable.
We see both teams back up to Merc camp a little bit here. Bottom keep for Diprovision is so dangerously low. Holy cow. Expect Gaslo to poke around down there.
Yeah, and looks like the 5-stack at top is really... making their presence known there.
Yeah, this is the edge that Diprovision really needs. They got to pick in Anubarak in the top lane, and they need to get something done here quickly before Gaslo gets too much value in the bottom lane there. It's only 3 members of Jackson 5 at the top there. They've got to make something happen.
Yeah, they really need to stop...
Yeah, we need to drop some ults, get angry, isolate some people.
Yeah,
Soda's instead getting isolated, taking a lot of damage. The Draken Laser Drill goes down and is immediately focused down, getting very little value there. And the 3 members of Jackson 5 are pushing back the 5 of Diprovision as Gaslo secures that bottom keep.
Yeah, that's really scary here. And there's a timer now. There's a timer now for Diprovision. They need to...
There's some push going at bottom here. You've got the Fire Bat, you got the Hell Bat at bottom pushing as well.
Yep, a great Emerald Wind there to negate the Jaina ult.
Oh, McKitten a little bit forward there, taking a little bit of heat from the members of Diprovision. No worse for wear, does manage to pop the Iron Skin and get out of there.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed that, but there was a bit of a lag spike there. And a very scary boss coming in. Oh my gosh, they are really pushing their advantage.
They are relentless right now with Robo Goblin Gaslo punching that thing. They're going to have 16 as at the conclusion of this push. Got both beacons going to be claimed in favor of Jackson 5 potentially here. You see Die for Vision making a stand at this top beacon, but you know they're gonna have to respond to this boss soon.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage going out. Kael'thas is trying his best to put out as much damage as he can, but those nerfs in the past have really, really hurt him.
Handsome Man finally caught and is brought down. Silverhawk low on HP, takes to the shadows to survive, and with Kerrigan coming back in, got some damage coming here potentially.
Yeah, and Terraspaz was pushed out by just Tychus. I mean, Tychus was literally focusing her down.
Kerrigan now left in no man's land, a man without a team, a man without escape, and Tychus is brought down. We've got a wave pushing bot with the catapults as well pushing, so that's going to have to be dealt with swiftly by Die for Vision. And this is firmly in Jackson 5's favor.
Yeah, it is their game to lose right now. They need to maintain this lead and maintain it safely.
No. And here comes the Zerg pushing through that exposed bot lane. It's going to be all hands on deck for Die for Vision. They're going to have to take an unfavorable fight in an unfavorable circumstance where the consequences for defeat are complete defeat. If they do not turn this around right now, this game is going to be in Jackson 5's pocket.
Well, there is all the ults up for.
And here we go,
yeah.
Laying into Handsome Man, sneaking out with 200 hit points. We do see a Nubrak falling, as is Johanna. Is the dream real? As we trade out now, Rexar is brought down, and the Zerg are getting cleaned up, rather efficiently. Die for Vision getting the fight that they needed, getting the 2 critical tank picks, on Jackson 5, and it looks like they're going to clean this up without too much, basically any core damage. Good on Die for Vision. That was a huge swing potentially for them.
Yeah, that was either, they could have lost the game right there.
They could have lost the game right there. Oh, absolutely.
They managed to hang on. Gazlo did take down the top keep, so they're just making the pressure. They didn't come out of this unscathed.
And the bus is making its stop. Terraspaz bringing McKitten and Silverhawk back to the field very quickly with that medevac dropship, letting them re-engage on the field more quickly than trying to ride out with those slow, lazy horses. What happened to those horses in this last patch, Sid?
Well, I mean, the 30 somebody broke one of their ankles with a Nerf bat. It was a Nerf bat. It was labeled Blizzard, and some ankles were broken.
Next patch, they're gonna turn him into glue. Come on, Blizz, come on! Don't make me call PETA on you.
DETA. It's the druids. Druids for the ethical treatment of. Oh my gosh, the core! The core.
So, Jackson 5 pushing in, getting a lot of damage in on the core, bringing that shield down, but is it enough? Tons of damage going on to Silverhawk. A money Emerald Wind isolating him and confirming the kill. And down goes McKitten as well. A Veil taking some heat from the Dragon Laser Drill as this push is slowly negated, but you've got a catapult.
Oh, look at that escape! Look at that escape with the medevac.
Oh yeah. That's a hot. That's the Vietnam movie. We got the choppers are coming, man. Hang in there, Avril. The choppers are coming.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Evac arrives, and yes, I like this idea. Push the lanes out and get your boss. This gives Die for Vision an opportunity to grab the beacons while Jackson 5 is dealing with this boss.
Wow, this is this is a really risky move here, but it might give them a fighting chance here.
Yeah, you gotta go to the beacons right now, but you have to respect the pushes that are happening on your core. We see Ren's back to potentially push that out. No, Ren's just going right back into the engagement. A huge fight going on in middle. Kerrigan reduced to 200 hit points, manages to sneak out there as the boss adds its own damage to the fight.
Yeah, they're just pushing the point with the boss. This was really smart on them. They didn't go for the other point. They just went for the one with the boss so that they could basically take it with an additional member, missing. However,
they're going to lose the beacon.
They're actually Winions.
Yeah, and wow, a heap of damage dealt to the core. Kerrigan not there to help finish this off. The catapults are going to bring this down to 20%, potentially less. 17% from the catapults.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be...
Die for Vision hanging on by their fingernails here. They've got to get decisive. They have got to get out there, stack up as 5, and make something happen on the map right now. Because if they do not make a move right now, if the Zerg push, if it's 100 Zerg push for Jackson 5, this is going to be almost insurmountable. Silverhawk taking a heap of damage, but a money Ring of Frost rooting almost the entirety of Die for Vision. And, they do manage to secure the top beacon, halting the Zerg swarm progress at 58%.
Mm-hmm. 2 ults used on Die for Vision side with 2 ults remaining. Sorry.
But a big engagement from Jackson 5. That's a lot of damage heaped on Die for Vision. We see Brightwing brought down, McKitten taking a lot of damage, and this one's up in the air right now.
I mean, without their healer, though, this is really dangerous. I mean,
tough one to sustain, yeah.
Oh, geez. And Rexar's forced to go back to keep any damage from falling on the core.
He can't do anything. Rexar is pinned. Handsome Man has got to push at least 1 or 2 more of these waves out before they have any chance of it actually, being safe at the core. We do see a little bit of progress for Die for Vision on the Zerg front, but it's still a Royal Rumble at top lane here, with 4 members of Jackson 5 handling the 3 of Die for Vision.
Yeah, this is one heck of a fight here. This is like a...
But as soon as Brightwing's back, Brightwing's going to be able to phase shift right back in. So Die for Vision has got to hold. They have got to not die here. Kerrigan does not.
No.
Oh, no. So Brightwing does phase shift in now. It is still technically on 3-on-3. They do manage to isolate McKitten, but this could have been a 4-on-3 here with Kerrigan alive. And they catch the Brightwing in a Ring of Frost, and the ring also, isolates. But while that whole scrap was going on, they do manage to bring down the core. Holy cow!
Oops.
That was out of control.
Oh my gosh! No, I missed it too. There was just so much going on at top that they delayed, and they were able to finally just take it in with the Winions. So yeah, that timer I was talking about just.
Oh my god! The Gazlowe value, man. Oh. The Gazlowe value. So much damage dealt by that Gazlowe. Only 1 assist. Only 1 contribution in the team fight. But Gazlowe made all the difference, if you ask me. Bringing down all those forts, bringing down those keeps. This got just crazy with the Gazlowe pushes.
Yeah, it was. It was fantastic. I mean, there was a lot of strategy involved, and the holds were fantastic.
I thought Die for Vision could have made something of that last hold when they got the 2 picks they needed. They had team members up. They staved off the Zerg horde, but it just wasn't in the cards.
Mm-hmm.
They went for the boss. I feel like you could have peeled some members off during the end of that boss fight and begun capping the beacons earlier, while members of Jackson 5 were still coming back. But at the same time, the medevac meant that, you could bring people back almost instantaneously. And that was that was very well used by Terraspaz. I loved seeing it on this map. You don't have a stim target, but you don't need one when you can dump your whole team on these critical beacons or bring them back. It basically gave them a Brightwing phase shift on a 40-second cooldown. Or 50-second, 50-second cooldown on any hero that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked it. I liked seeing that from the Morales. Even on a small map like this one, where the rotation distance from top to bottom isn't that big, any time that you can shave off, anything you can do to make your arrival more unexpected, it pays dividends.
Yeah, and can we talk about Gazlowe? The split push. The split push on Gazlowe was just super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Every single push essentially was given extra value from Gazlo. It was always a 401. They were very good at keeping it 401.
Yes.
And somehow they were able to take as much as they could without giving anything up.
Yeah, that was extremely well played by I want to say extreme kudos to Gumby and Terraspaz for their positioning and for their handling of the team fights. Terraspaz really quarterbacking for the team as far as I could tell, getting them back into the fight, getting them that medevac, taking them around, saving the day when necessary. The one medevac, sort of the hot evacuation after that one failed push.
Yeah.
That could have ended really poorly if, like, let's take stim drone for no particular reason. And Gumby on the Gazlo, always just far enough away from the team fight to get value, and their team had the sustain to sort of just wait this one out, and they waited it out when it was necessary.
It was fantastic. So, but excellent game coming out of Die for Vision as well. I mean, that defense at the end, where we thought it was potentially game ending, and then the subsequent decision to get the boss. I mean, and to actually win that team fight, essentially, they actually had a chance there, and we really didn't know until the last minute who was going to win. I mean, that was that was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
So
I loved seeing the hard damage.
Oh my gosh,
the Nubarak.
Big bad Beetleborg. It's been a while.
All sorts of madness, letting McKitten handle the tanking, the sustain, and the control, while Anubrak really was just there to find the Kiel'Thas, find the Tychus, and get the picks that were necessary. Anubrak with 3 of the killing blows. That was there were 15 deaths total in that team, 7 and 8 for Jackson 5 and Die for Vision respectively. Fairly low death game, all things considered. So that's what you get when you've got these 2 warrior teams with reasonable support behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looked really good. I mean, it was great choices, great strategies coming out, and honestly, I mean, the things to take away here are applicable to all games on Braxis Holdout. Brightwing Bride build, pretty good. Not, I mean, I'd have to see a few more games with it.
I think finding a situation where you can time it a bit better with the problem for Die for Vision was they didn't have too many favorable situations where they were in control of the map, where Brightwing could steal a camp or split push with a camp, and they just weren't in those situations very often. If they had been, maybe there would have been more opportunities for Brightwing to get value out of that Bride build.
Absolutely. I think Brightwing solo heals on this may, I don't know. It's hard to say. I was going to say maybe not enough, but I don't know. This, I think the Jaina put out way too much damage for Brightwing to handle, and it was. It might have been better with another, maybe even a Tassadar, rather than the Rexar. I don't know. It's hard to say because it was the Gazlo just put so much value on the field that
the Gazlo was a nightmare, and Jackson 5 was able to effectively tangle with Die for Vision without getting too tied up. They were able to poke, to irritate, to engage, and then successfully disengage without losing people, and give Gazlo time to get the business done elsewhere. And I think that was the real takeaway from this game is how to effectively rotate your heavy heroes, rotate your tanks around, keep them alive, and buy time elsewhere. Buying time for Gazlo won them this game. I'm absolutely convinced of that.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to be switching over to another game shortly, so keep at it here.
Wow, yeah, holy cow.
So this is a win for Jackson 5, right?
And they are now 2-1 for the season, whereas Dive for Vision falls to 1-2. So best of luck to both teams next week. We'll be rooting for you. If you liked what you saw, you can go to the Chair League website and actually follow these teams. You'll receive a little notification when they've got matches coming up. And feel free to follow us. I'll let Synth do the whole spiel.
Yeah, if you liked what you saw here today, be sure to follow us on the Chair League site. Search for Synth Paradox under the casters and click the follow link on the profile page. You can also follow us on Twitch and YouTube. Same ideas, different sites. But we'll be back shortly for Bang Bang versus Illidank Squad here.
Ooh, yeah.
So see you in a little bit.
Cheers.